Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all hanging in there. Um, I wanted to do a quick flip through of some journals that I just recently listed in my shop. Um, this is mainly, you know, well, to share because I like to share, but I wanted there to be a video description of these journals for the listings in my Etsy shop. So that's one of the biggest reasons that that we do these videos, is for that purpose, but also because it's nice to have a record of your work too. So and why not YouTube, right? Anyways, I'm blabbering. Okay, I'm sleepy. I'm a little tired, guys. Um, all right, so if anybody remembers the last 5 Reader's Digest journals that I released, I mentioned that there was actually 10 altogether. At that time, I was doing the 5 where I had to recreate the spine because the spine had, fallen apart when I took the book apart. Well, these 5, the spine actually stayed intact, so I was able to salvage the spine. So the only difference between those and these really is the size of the spine is a little bit narrower. So that means that the books are a little bit fatter um, at the opening, right? In here. Because honestly, I feel like I probably put even more like stuff in these than I did the other ones. I don't know. I haven't measured, but um yeah, but these guys all came out pretty fat and chunky. So really, really, really happy with the way these all came out. I love this quilt top that I used on these. It's just this gorgeous little, patchwork quilt. And it's just, just the top to the quilt. But and then so that's what's on the top, and then underneath that I just used a piece of, some other random vintage fabric. So this I think was a tablecloth or something like that, but some kind of heavier like vintage fabric right underneath this, and then it's all glued down. So well, first I stitched them together, but anyway, and then I did these really cute little, well, I think they're really cute anyways, and I really had fun making them. They're little fabric clusters. So instead of paper ephemera clusters, these are just fabric clusters that are all made out of scraps of my fabric, sort of from basically my junk journal salad box, right? So there's all kinds of stuff in here, you guys. I mean, all kinds of different types of fabric and things like that. So basically, they're just this is like probably 15 layers of different fabrics held together with a button, and it's stitched together with I think I used wax linen on these. So anyway, so there's a fabric cluster on the front of each one. This one happens to look like it's the closure, but it's not. It's just the positioning on the book. So I put these in like a different position on each one. So I like this one too. It's super cute. It's just a little tiny one, but I like the button that's on it. It's like a little round metal button. So, but these are real sturdy too. So, and then I went crazy with buttons. I went through all my button boxes and jars and cans and pulled out all of the like upholstered buttons that I could find. And I just attached a jump ring onto each one of them and started hanging them on these chains that I was going to use on these journals. And then I just came back and added some charms and stuff, but lots and lots of buttons. Each one has a vintage brass key. And then I did do one like vintage style paperclip bead charm on each one. And then I just hung a couple of buttons from the end of that too with a bulb pin. So, okay. So let's get into one of these, and I will do like a total flip through on it, and then I'll kind of run through the others like kind of quickly inside. So it just gives you a good idea of what's in there, you know. Okay, so basically, oh, the other thing, before I forget, sorry, I know I'm delirious. I named all of these also. So the last series of 5 that I did, I named them after my mom and her 4 sisters. So this one right here happens to be named after my grandma. Her name is Lorraine. So I just, you know what? I'm just going with that. Like, I'm just gonna give them names. Maybe I'll just do that forever, you know, who knows? So these names I Googled like popular names from the 20s, women's names from the 20s. And so it gave me this nice long list. And so I just picked the ones that I liked. So, and I kind of like that era. So, and it's also that era is represented a lot in the books. So I don't know, kind of fits. So anyways, this is Lorraine, and her closure is actually just a piece of cotton fabric. I don't remember where it came from or whatever, but it was in my box of strips of fabric, so, or bag, I should say. Okay, so on the inside front cover of each one, I put one of these little, it's almost like a slide with an image in it. Okay, some kind of different image. Some of them have like a flower or a bird or something like that, but others have like a person, like you know, not an actual person, just a picture of a person. You know what I mean? And most of those pictures are like my family. So, anyways, okay. So you're gonna find a pocket that I collaged and attached on the inside front cover of each one of these journals, and some other, you know, just different types of ephemera and tags and things like that. This is from an old vintage bird field guide. This is some avocado dyed paper that I did, and this is just a little craft paper tag. So I'm not going to get super detailed about every single inclusion, but I do want to give whoever cares to know, you know, if somebody's considering purchasing one of these journals, I just want them to have a really good idea of, you know, what's in there, because you're kind of limited on Etsy, on any, you know, sales type of listing online. You're limited unless they have unlimited photos that you can add to your listings. This is straw paper that I got from Rachel at Roxy Creations. I purchased this from her. It's paper that she uses in her collages quite a bit, and I've always loved it. I loved seeing it, and I wanted some of it for a while. So I was really happy when I bought I bought a grain sack from her, an antique grain sack, and to kind of make the shipping worth the money, I wanted to add some more, you know, merchandise from her shop because it wouldn't have changed the shipping cost. So, and she's really cool like that. She'll work with you on that kind of thing. So, anyway, so I added some of that paper, and then some of her, she makes these like ribbons out of fabric, and so I got some of that too. Anywho, I actually used a lot of that in the fabric clusters. So, and this is some ledger paper from a little kind of interesting little binder that I picked up the other day. Some Beatrix Potter book pages. This is actually some onion skin stationery that I found recently. Love, love, love that. I love onion skin anything. So then there's a glassine envelope in this signature. You know, it's got, looks like a little seam or rickrack label, and just some other different little doodads. This is from a sewing pattern. This is the instructions. This is some more of that onion skin stationery. This happens to be blue. and pages from encyclopedias. This is an encyclopedia from the 40s that I got from Karla. I love it. Um, yeah, so flip, flip, flip. This is from a Child Life magazine. I believe it was like a 1930 issue. Some postage stamps, and some of them I glued in. Some of them I just, held in place with a paper clip. So here's like the center of the signature. I always do that if there's a, double pocket in the front. I kind of fill it up as much as I can. Try to make a little bit of a statement there, Um, anyways, some larger pieces of, well, I mean, this is definitely relatively not a large piece of wallpaper, but in relation to the other pieces in the book, it's somewhat large. Anyways, yeah, so wallpaper, and you could use that in a million different ways. Anyways, and then I have some images from the New York Public Library that I've downloaded recently and printed, and then some vintage playing cards. Someone gave me those, but I can't remember who it was. That's bad. So anywhere that the page was a little bit too wide or something like that, I either turn it into just a little flip out or I turn it into a pocket. See, like that. Okay, this little pocket, the little fairy. This is a cigarette card that was on the New York Public Library website. So glad I finally got a color printer. Color like laser printer. My God. So glad. So many options now. And then I did a fabric tab in each one of these journals using that scrap strip that I got from Rachel. There's some green stamps in here, some more of the straw paper, a little bit of collaging on a paper bag. This could be like a little tuck spot. Could be. And then these wax paper bags, I try to sort of, stuff them full, so that they're actually kind of fun to go through when you get one of these journals. They're kind of, it's like, I don't know, almost like having a stocking to open on Christmas morning. I know that's a little extreme, but you know what I mean? I just like to really fill those little bags. Little pocket with a collage tag there. It's a little avocado dyed envelope that I stitched into the center of this signature. This is a scan from, I have a whole bunch of wooden spools of thread, and they're just really, really cool. So I just took a whole bunch of them and set them on the scanner bed on my printer and scanned them and cut them out. I saw Jibid do that one time. She made this really cool bigger tag, like this big round tag in one of her journals that she had said was a scan of a spool of thread. So I was like, hey, Jibid can do that. I can do that, right? I thought that was really a cool little idea, though. So I actually did that with some other sewing stuff, too. Like the old packs of buttons and snaps and stuff like that. All right. Man, I need a nap. This is one of those children's dictionaries that's like, you know, a word and an illustration. I think these are from the, I think these are actually from the 20s, maybe early 30s. Whoops, page got bent a little bit. Whoa, I feel like it'll straighten back out. Oh, I was like, what's going on here? I forgot this was like a belly band. So then I just stuck a little envelope with some avocado dyed paper and some onion skin paper folded up inside. And some vintage wrapping paper too. Hang on just one second, guys. I'm waiting for something in the mail that requires a signature. Making sure that's not the mailman. Okay. And some more field guide images. These are some end papers from some children, like a really old children's book that I thought were really cool, so I just stuck them in there. And then on the fabric tabs, I put like an old Schnake button with a bulb pen. This is coffee dyed paper. This is from an old atlas. Another one of those vellum cards. And the center of the signature again. You're gonna see a really strong like bird, flower, butterfly theme in these. Well, I mean, if you want to call it a theme. I don't know if I call it a theme necessarily, but I should just say, like, you know, common imagery you're gonna find. Birds, butterflies, and flowers. With some Beatrix Potter. Okay. Almost through there. Okay. So that is, wait, what was her name again? What's her name again? Oh, Lorraine. Duh. Okay, and that, like I said, you guys, that's my grandma's name. Everybody always called her Doll, though, for some reason. And actually, even us kids, like, she didn't like Grandma for some reason, so we always had to call her Doll. Okay, so this one is Clara, and it's like a brown cover. And, you know, same thing, bunch of buttons and charms and vintage fabric. I've been addicted to doing this lately on the spines of my larger journals. I just love the way it looks and feels, and I don't know. I just think it's cool because you can hang stuff from those if you want to, you know, and it just kind of makes them look sort of tattered and I don't know. Anyways, there's another little fabric cluster on this one. I love that button. And this is an old tablecloth, the tie on this one. So just basically more of the same type of stuff in here. There's 10 pictures of each journal in their respective listings on Etsy. So, you know, that gives you a pretty good idea of what's in there. If anybody is considering purchasing one of these and they would like to have some additional pictures of it, just send me a message on Etsy and I'll send you some more pictures, okay? So this one is Mabel. And yeah, so this is more of a blue. Whoops. Sometimes it's hard to know what I'm supposed to pull. So kind of blue and purple on the cover. Yeah. So you can see there's a lot of really similar types of stuff in these, right? And they were gone so fast, the last Reader's Digest journals that I listed, they sold really fast, and so I'm really glad that I had these that I had actually started on, so it was relatively painless to get them finished up. So okay, so this one is Audrey, and she's kind of a dark green with like a gold kind of polka dot on the cover. And then there's the fabric cluster up close, and the bead charm dangle. Lots and lots of buttons, big buttons, small buttons, all different colors of buttons, different textures. So, okay. And then let's look inside Audrey. So hopefully you guys are coming to Brooke's live sale today. I'll be helping her out in there, moderating and helping her with the timer on her auctions and stuff like that. So that should be super fun. If you maybe don't have any idea who I'm talking about, I usually list her her YouTube channel in the comments or in the description on my videos. So she's usually there. It's Recreations by Brooke. Okay. And if anybody would like to see, you know, a more, I guess, in-depth sort of look at making these fabric clusters, just let me know in the comments. If that's something that, you know, more than one person is interested in, then I would be happy to make a video on those. I might do them on a live stream one day too, though. So, okay, so here's the, you know, dangly deal on this one. This one, honestly, the fabrics that I used on the spine and stuff, they're almost kind of boho, right? But like vintage boho. So I felt like it was actually a really good combination. And then here's the fabric cluster. I know it kind of gets lost on the video. It's kind of hard to see where it stops and the book cover begins again, but trust me, it's there. Okay, and let me flip through this guy real quick. This one is actually one of my favorites. I love this fabric. I think it was probably an old bedspread. Had some pretty major holes in it, so. Sorry, I'll start going like page by page, and I'm really not trying to do that. And then here's the back cover. So this tag has a little poppy on it and some eggs. See, birds, butterflies, and flowers. And there's the back. All right, so like I said, these are all currently listed in my shop. Did I tell you the name of this one? This is Dolores, in case I didn't mention that. I'm sorry. So yeah, the listings are all active right now, so I don't need to go back and activate anything. They'll be there as soon as you see the video. Um, and yeah, so thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for putting up with my delirium this morning. I appreciate it. Um, but I will see you hopefully later on Brooke's live stream or on mine tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Give me a thumbs up, you guys. I appreciate it. And share my video with anybody that you feel, would enjoy it. That would be awesome. And subscribe if you haven't already. And huge, huge thank you to those who are subscribers and for, hanging in there with me. All right. Take care. Don't touch the buttons.